Good. How are you?
All right, mate. Was that my voice I heard then that you were turning off?
No, probably it was in your head.
Ah, okay. Yeah, most of the voices are.
Yeah. I was watching the Mind Forge.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Still going well? Still serving you?
Yeah, yeah. As usual.
Good. What are the updates in your quest, in your success, in your struggles, in your forge? What are the updates?
Um, I apply what I learn daily, and then I don't think about it. I just try to apply it whenever possible. Like if I hear a date, if I hear a phone number, I just try to apply it. That's all.
Nice. That's all you can ask for. That's all you can ask for. If
Yeah.
if if nothing else, Mindforge was built around habits and the easy way that these things can, if you choose to, slot into your day and then eventually stack up.
Yeah. I think the way you convey the information is really good. Like, first you talk about what is it, how does it help, and
Mm,
then you give an example. Like, for example, you say 24 for me is this, and then you show
mm,
how it works. And if someone applies it with you, they will remember it and they will realize that it works. So they will create their own
yeah,
lists and they're gonna apply it this way. So,
yeah. Oh, well, thank you. I'm glad that's working for you. Um, it's been a it's been a memory method full on week here as well because my daughter's revising for her exams. She's got mock exams next week, and then she's got some more exams a couple of months after, and then she's got a proper exams in June and July. So we figured out that she works best with mnemonic images and flashcards.
nice.
Yeah, so we've been going through them a lot, and she keeps asking me all of these questions about physics, and I'm like, whereas I did study it, Phoebes, that was over a decade ago. So
Mhm.
I'm probably not the best person to ask.
Is it for university, like university exam?
I mean, in a fashion, because well, she's not that old. She's not that old. Hey, Paul. Um, she's not that old. She's going to be 16 in June. But like high school exams, I don't know what the Turkish equivalent are. They're GCSEs over here. I don't know what the
Mhm.
I don't know what the Turkish equivalent would be. But she's already got. We're just talking about memory methods. Saeed's going through MindForge at the minute, and I'm hammering my daughter with flashcards and the memory images from there. Um, so it's it's interesting because I'm very much working with somebody who is in the trenches of social media. Her attention span is shocking. Shocking. And like we had a good moment the other day. I don't know if you saw the podcast from last night, but it was I mentioned it on there where she has a couple of questions that come up and she goes, God, before I've even got through the question, she'll go, God, I don't remember. I'll be like, well, you said this last time. Yeah, but I don't remember. I was like, stop saying that. And she went, yeah, but I don't. I was just stop saying it. Humor me. Just don't say it. Well, what else am I
Yeah.
supposed to say? Like I don't recall it yet. That's not coming back. Let me try it again later. But I don't remember it. Fine, just don't say the words. and so I took the flashcard and put it to the back somewhere, and we went through the rest, and it came back. And she, when I asked the question, I kind of looked up, give her a little cheeky look, so she knew that I knew that she knew that I knew. And I was like, look, don't panic. Just talk through out loud the image that you made. Like, don't worry about the information. Just talk through the image that you made.
Mhm.
and sure enough, as soon as she started talking, she got it back. It was the 8 energy stores of physics, and we ended up creating this weird little walk around the local supermarket. And there was roller coasters and elasticated shampoo bottles and nuclear watermelons and all sorts going on. I think now that I say it out loud, I think nuclear watermelon sounds like that'd be an interesting rock album. How are you, Paul? What's going on in your world, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thank you. Yeah, I had a decent week. Recovered from Blackpool. Decent week. Weekend again. So yeah, got 3 days off, Monday to Wednesday. So gonna
Nice.
go to Leeds on Monday. Have a night in Leeds with my sister. Gonna spend some time with my sister. Have a night
Nice.
in Leeds. Do a bit of shopping Monday afternoon, and I'm quite tempted in getting her out of her comfort zone and doing an escape room.
Oh, nice.
But that's well out of her comfort zone because like she will panic. She will so panic. So
Okay.
it's like and it's only going to be me and her, which will be quite good actually. Um, but yeah, I'm
Nice.
tempted. I'm tempted to give her a call over the weekend and go, Tuesday, do you fancy an escape room? So so
Maybe
yeah.
dial the panic up and just don't tell
Yeah. Yeah.
her. Don't. That's a terrible idea.
Oh yeah, she is one of these. She's totally different to me, and she's older than me. So like, I always
Right.
looked up to her and thought, oh, she's the
Yeah.
most confident, and she's not. She really isn't.
Right.
She's confident with things that she knows, but as soon as she steps out of that little comfort zone, and it's even a tiptoe,
Yeah.
you just see that. Whoa, that
Shutters come down.
yeah, shutters come down, and that tension, that little bit of tension, and
Mm.
that deep breath in, and it's like everything goes. It's like okay.
God
Uh,
bless her. I mean, hey, if she can do it, then not like do the escape room, but go into
yeah,
the
yeah,
escape room. If she
yeah,
can do it, then more power to her.
yeah,
Anyone that runs at difficulty rather than away from it is all right in my books.
yeah. And she's different to me. She's really analytical, where I'm just all visual. I'm just
Gotcha.
visual, and you know, where she'll be analytical, and she can like piece those little bits together, where I'll just look at the whole thing.
Mm.
Um, I'm getting better at that. I'm getting better at piecing the little bits together, but still a way to go. It's a journey.
All the fun things are, mate. Right, all
Yeah,
the fun things are. That's why RLS is the length that it is.
yeah.
you know,
How are you? How's your week been?
mate, not a grumble. It's been well, I mean, I could grumble, but it would be a waste of time and energy and
Yeah,
breath. um, if I've got some writing done, which was good. I'm literally covered in books as I was filming some of my book reviews before we started.
yeah,
Yeah, just a very business heavy week. Not as much opportunity for practical as I would like. I still managed to make a couple of hours a day, but
yeah,
it's a lot of things like um, website creation, and I've had to build a quiz into one of the landing pages, which is why I thought I'd do a review on that. And
yeah,
so it's getting your head around some of the coding language and then figuring out where it goes to make certain tweaks. And
yeah,
like I find it sinfully boring. I know
yeah,
there are people that love it and are fascinated by all the things that it can do. I'm not one of them. The furthest I can be from any kind of Python
yeah,
code, animals are fine.
yeah.
The happier I am, So it's just been a lot of that. I started reading a book yesterday. That was just for me. That was nice.
Yeah.
Um, I had a I had a conversation with Phoebe's French teacher, but in Arabic. That was weird.
Right. Yeah.
That was weird. But it was a fun moment for
Yeah.
me. Going, hey, this is working. This is nice. So yeah, that was fun. But yeah, it's just been another proverbial week at the office, mate.
Yeah.
I can't retire yet, but we'll keep going. It's a labor of love.
That's it. Yeah, as long as you enjoy it, it's all right. It's always
Yeah,
ebbs and flows. It's just riding it.
Yeah, I
What
don't
are
know
you
what
reading?
currently.
Yeah, yesterday you started something.
Oh yeah. Dan Brown's new book, the Secret of Secrets.
I've just started listening to it on audio on
Yeah,
Audible. Yeah, because I like to listen to it when I'm traveling and stuff. So
yeah.
yeah, I've just started to listen to it. It's just started to open up.
I mean, I don't know where you are. I don't know how it transpires to the Audible. I am 103 pages in.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so let's not go into spoiler territory.
yeah,
But it's interesting for the Langdon character, and maybe this is something that we can all join in on. There is a female character who was in a previous novel called The Lost Symbol, and
yeah,
she works in a branch of science called noetics, and it's legit. I
yeah,
mean, it's legit in terms of it exists. And it's to do with the science of consciousness and telepathy and the weight of thoughts and all of these kinds of things. And Robert Langdon, the lead character, if you've seen the films, it's Tom Hanks's character.
yeah.
Very much the science guy, believes the intangibility that's in front of him, and this idea of precognition he finds nonsensical. Anyway, long story short, him and this woman, they're together in a hotel room. She has a dream, recounts the dream to him. Next day happens, parts of the dream come true, and he starts freaking out.
Yeah.
So, question for the group: what do we think about this idea of how can we put it in an accessible of free will? Are you Robert Sapolsky territory, or are you something else? And maybe this will connect to what we were talking about in the RLS group site with the nature of belief.
I don't remember
Yeah.
who was that guy, but I believe that we have free will. Even though I know about the decisions are making in the brain 200 milliseconds or so before that we do anything, but I still believe there is free will because the brain is the sign and we are the brain. That makes sense?
I mean,
Yeah.
it does. It does. What about the rest of you guys?
I think it's having that perception of what do we all perceive as free will being. Is it making a decision without any influence, without any, where are the parameters of what is free will, and again, when we talk about the Anil Seth stuff about perception, is it just what my brain tells me that I need to do because of what it can cognitively come up with?
I was interpreting the question really differently. Oh, sorry, I didn't want to cut you.
Yeah. Carry on. It's fine.
Yeah. I was really thinking about our decisions made in advance by the brain, but you are talking more about do we have free will if we have just that one option? Is that what you mean?
All of it, really,
yeah,
all of it.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
Paul. Is that what
Yeah.
you mean,
Oh,
Paul?
sorry. Yeah, carry on, Paul.
Yeah. That's part of it. We can only make that. I mean, for instance, every time. So the only way that I would probably say free will would be, so prior to doing this or prior to learning anything new, my free will was very, very different. But then when you learn something new, it changes that. So is my change and choice dictated on the information that I gather, if you know what I
So
mean?
do you mean that free will is the options you have?
Yeah, yeah, and not necessarily pre-programmed through evolution, because obviously some of it will be. But now now cognitively we have a certain sense of being able to make our own choices. What are the parameters of me making that choice depending on what's around me? If you know what I mean. So it's all to do with whatever information I will collate, but also where my brain is at the point of digesting that information. Because if it knows something already, then it already has a plan, if you know what I mean. If it's something completely new, then a lot of people could be quite overwhelmed or go with it. Where I probably, if I was to say maybe 8 years ago, 9 years ago, I would probably get really overwhelmed quite easy. But I don't now because I've done a lot more stuff in behaviour and study and trying to understand a lot about behaviour and getting away from it being binary, but just that
keep
general
going. I'm still listening. I'm
observation,
just grabbing something.
just that general observation of and being open to what's in front of me now, rather than making a decision on instinct, if you know what I mean, because that instinct might not always be right.
Not just react, but
Yeah,
react.
yeah, absolutely. Respond more than react. So I've responded with reasoning and some rational behind it. Where react, I say quite emotional, and usually when we get emotional, as in anger, frustration, we're more likely to turn that on because parts of the brain get switched off. Yeah, do you know what? Does free will come with state of mind? Yeah, when you think about it like that, when we started the conversation of what do we all think free will, you just think of it's but actually when you really think about it, it's quite a hard subject to say, well, is there such thing as free?
No, I'm seeing it's also a matter of definition. It's quite hard to have
to define it.
On it.
And to try and define what free will would be for me would be sort of where 8 years ago, if you was to ask me that question, of course we have. I make my own choices. But now I know more 8 years on than what I did 8 years ago. It's more now. I've put a lot more thought behind why do I make those choices, or why do we as human beings make those choices. It's different. It's that whole thing that we've been doing now. Lesson. It's like nature, nurture, societal influence, and everything like that. So I think it's really hard to define. What we would, I don't know, maybe we try to do it in this session, try to define what free will is.
Yeah.
In a way, yes.
Just in case anyone's wondering, that's the book.
Yes.
We're talking about it with sites once.
I've got it on Audible, Ben. It's about 27 hours.
Yeah, I don't know if I always call them Bible books in the sense that there's lots of pages and very small writing. But very much worth anyone that hasn't read it or listened to it, very much worth your time. And that goes for anyone watching this in the future.
I love the first part. I love the first part where Robert Sapolsky starts to break down how the brain takes in things and how it makes those decisions and the chemical reactions, etc., and dopamine. I love that. But I couldn't understand it when I read it. I had to get it on Audible to understand it.
Got you. At least you've got the understanding.
Well, I've got better understanding with Audible. It's one of those books that I've listened to, I think, in the last 2 years or something twice, and I need to keep revisiting because it's always the early parts that I find really hard, the neuroscience part of it that I find really hard. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that book.
He's got a good lecture on YouTube if anyone's seen it. It's like an hour long.
I do think sometimes though it comes across with a bit of opinion sometimes.
Oh
yeah.
But I mean, whether it be fortuitously or he's thought it through or not, I mean, regardless of the content of the opinion, coming through with opinion only serves to support his exploration of free will anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
My first thought when I was asked the question, which prompted me to go and have a look at Sapolsky's work, was with Anthony Mativier a few years ago, and the only thing I could think to ask in return was kind of what you guys were already talking about, like how free, right? So, do you mean free will within a container? You know, free will is crossing the road whenever you choose to, but choosing not to until it's safe. But then you go, well, is that free? Or is that still under the control of somebody else's decisions? You know, and the way they feel about the morality of life and these types of things. And I find it interesting from a profiling perspective, because if you look at the density of information with which somebody makes a decision, you know, the choice to sit in the ways that we do, wear the clothes that we do, speak the way that we do, talk about what we choose to talk about, think about the things that we choose to think about, etc., etc., etc.
I had a meeting today. It was about a resident that's at a service, been there a month. Lots of background, addictive backgrounds from early age and stuff. And one of the first assumptions that the manager says is they don't want to be here. And I'm like, why? And well, they keep saying they don't want to be here, they don't feel safe, they don't feel. And then, you know, this, considering this is supporting living, this is residential, they can come and go whenever they like. So I said, how much time do they actually spend away then from the service? I went, because can they leave whenever they want and come back whenever? Yeah. So why aren't they? I went, they're safe, but they might not be able to tell you what's up with them. That same feeling that they're getting is the same feeling that they get when they feel unsafe and they can't make a difference. What we've got to do is we've got to make that environment predictable to them, and we've got to make sure that we reiterate safety in that environment rather than saying they don't want to be here. You know, because they can come and go whenever they want, like, but they're not. So, and they're like staff who have hierarchy. So life's already taught them that if I need something, I go to hierarchy because I'll get the answers that I need, and hierarchy is safe. So I was like saying, how do we then take that safety and put that across the staff? Because staff should be saying the same terminology as what those hierarchical people say, but also the hierarchical people should be saying the same things as, and we get the wording and we use their terminology, and it's like a month. What is any human being like if you? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick you up from where you live, where you've lived for years, and in your environment, and I'm going to stick you somewhere completely alien. You'll probably adapt to that, but your behaviour will be very, very different.
There'll be a period.
And you know, I'm like saying we get to choose where we live, we get to choose who we live with, we get to choose who we spend time with. What choice has this person had? This person's come from a hospital, they've been put where they are, and they're trying to find out whether it's a safe environment or not. So what we've got to do is we've just got to take time and be predictable and be consistent. Consistency promotes predictability, and predictability promotes safety. And if I feel safe, then my behaviour of concern comes down. And it's like, that's where we need to go. And get that consistency. And it was so bizarre because it was that assumption straight from the bat of they don't want to be here. It's like, I disagree.
I like in those moments. I mean, you will all know it by now. Knotting them, K-N-O-T. You know, they don't want to be here. What have you seen that makes you know that? And then you go, what do you need to know to be even more sure about that? You know, and it's very much an anecdotal opinion, but it really holds up the mirror to the falsehood in that belief, because they have to explore it. They have to, you know.
Well,
And
there was a big thing about, oh, they're not taking the meds in the morning. Okay, but he says that you told me right at the start of the conversation that they wake up at 2 o'clock, they go out, they get whatever weed or whatever, then they come back, and then you're knocking them up at 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, but I'd be slapping you out of my room.
Yeah.
So we've got to put that into context and say, actually, there's a reason for not doing them. So we need to give a routine. We need to, if they can't sleep on a night, why aren't we doing something that gets rid of that energy? Because they've got ADHD as well as autism, so that energy is burning in there. And it's like, so what are we doing to do that? What meaningful activity? What, finding out what they like and why aren't we doing an activity based around that from about tea time, sporadically up until, I don't know, 7, 8 o'clock, because they might sleep better. And if they sleep better, then they might go up for the meds.
Moods regulate. Yeah, absolutely. And this is why I find the philosophical angle about this free will debate quite interesting. And that's what connected me to the book. I like it when men and women of science come up against men and women of faith, and inevitably the resolution of the story meets in the middle somewhere.
Yep.
And with a few of the people that I've spoken to about this in like my family circle, my dad was I make my own decisions. Okay, cool. Why? Because I don't like I'm paraphrasing. He swore a lot more, right? But it was like I don't really like the idea of someone controlling me. Okay, why? Well, because it's scary. So your decisions are rooted in wanting comfort. Yes. Is that a decision you make then, or an innate urge? And my dad just crumbled. he just crumbled into it, because it's one of those things that's almost ineffable.
Yeah.
It's like certain questions that arise that people try and create easy answers for, and I don't think there is one.
No, I agree. I definitely agree with. We always try to look for a solution, because that solution is certainty, and if we're certain, then that's comfort again. Yeah. When things are uncertain, I feel uncomfortable. Don't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. We were talking about it on the podcast earlier, where the guy on who's he works in leisure and hospitality, pretty high up. He's held like various restaurant and pubs and everything all over the country. Anyway, that's by the by. But we were talking about this cake shop in Leeds that does mail order cakes, and they're very highbrow, and they're very expensive, and they are 9 times out of 10 they deliver them to your door perfect. Perfect. They're delicious, they're rich, they're flavorful. There's a whole experience in it that's delivered to your door. And there was a couple of them that went out below par. Not like it had all crumbled into a mess, but like it was quite dry for a cake. It didn't really taste as full as people were expecting, or the repeat bookings had. And people got really up in arms about it. And with it being an online business, you live and die from your Google reviews, from your Yelp reviews, and things like that. And Bob had his views, Kieran had his. My opinion on that was, and it's only an opinion, an observational thing. There's the Antonio Damasio research that's gone into it from Decision Sciences. But when customers of any kind, you're buying, the thing, the cake, the deck of cards, the books, whatever it is, you're really buying the resolution of a feeling.
Yeah.
Right? That's what it is. And so when that resolution doesn't occur, your brain goes, well, I don't know what to do now. And so a lot of people in that situation, given that there is a separation between them and the business, the only resolution for that is to let other people know how wronged they feel, to get back to that sense of known. It's illogical, you know, but it's that thing from you can reason perfectly, but if you've got shit information, you'll still have shit answers. Your technical application of the material can still be, but your information going in can be terrible, and it kind of spiraled in that sense. You know, we were asking questions like, why are people dicks? You know, these types of things. And there are arguments that come from Sapolsky, from Maslow, and other infamous clever clogses from our time, that we're generally looking after our own primal needs. And this is what I mentioned briefly to Saeed in the other RLS group, speaking about the nature of belief. And hand on heart, I mean this with all sincerity I can, given where the idea came from. It comes from the film Dogma. I don't know if you know the film Dogma. If you haven't, it's a wonderful, wonderful film. Kevin Smith, all about religion, tons of fun. Unless you're of a delicate sensibility, then it's definitely going to make you cry. But one of the apostles in it, his name was Rufus, the 13th apostle, the only black apostle. I mean, it was played by Chris Rock, so there's going to be, you know, everybody hates black people kind of humor. But
also
his theory was that there is nothing beneficial that comes from a belief. It's better to have a good idea, because ideas can change based on new information. There is too much of one's identity that is tied into a belief, because it gives you that sense of the known. You know, I know the earth is flat, therefore it makes me feel at home on this earth. You know, I know there is a God, therefore it eases my concern about whatever it is that happens next. I know that if I step off this cliff, I will fall, therefore I'm choosing not to. You know, these kind of beliefs. And the more experience I've had of people who speak from their belief, whatever it is, and there's been thousands, there'll probably be thousands more. There is a distinct lack of openness from the Big Five, and it has so far. I don't claim this to be a truism, just that it's statistically happened. It has so far been a presentation that there's been no openness, purely to protect that belief and therefore the comfort of the known within their identity. Because if you shake it up, they then have to ask, well, who am I?
Yeah.
You know? And that's one of those things. Why these types of lofty questions may never get answered, but it's fun to speculate.
I think that's what I would try to explain to Cyrus. You just put it down to T. You know, when we talked about free will earlier, is that, you know, is all our decisions made upon what information is in there already? Because if it's new information, I don't know how to deal with it until I've dealt with it. And yeah, I think you've just summed that up about, you know, that belief and sort of like, oh well, that feels right, so I'm going to go with that because it feels right. But actually, does it feel right, or is it because I've done it before and it's felt right before? You know, like the cake. I've bought that cake, I've had it, and it's taste chef's kiss. But this time, for some reason, it you know, it hasn't, and it's never you can never replicate that first time, can you? It's like if you go out to a restaurant and you get a banging meal. When you go back the second time, it's still banging, but not as good as when you first took that first bite and gone, wow.
Yeah. That's what I want to tell people that market like films and books and TV shows. Right? I know you have to build hype. I know you have to, but don't build it for 2 years.
Yeah.
Because you're going to put people's thoughts attached to ideas that they don't even know where they came from, and when they don't occur or do occur or whatever it is, they're not going to live up to that invented expectation anyway.
But it's also that constant drip feeding in it as well.
Yeah.
For that we get on social media, drip feeding. We get big blockbuster movies that are going to be out in 3 years' time. It starts 3 years, and it's that drip feed and that little scene. It's like, oh wow, again, that pre-programming potentially, all that influence.
Yeah. So like when I say to people, like your attention isn't broken, your memory isn't bad, it's just been poorly trained.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Put down your phone. They start getting twitchy like a little crack addict. Oh god.
Yeah.
Like
more than poorly trained. In that case, it's poorly set, like in a setting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's this is again why I find that my role in trying to understand humans is you can never have a dull day.
No.
You can never have a dull day. Even if you've been working with the same person all day, every day for the last 50 years, what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes is potentially something you have never seen before.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Speaking of books, another couple of recommendations that I can put is Dopamine Nation.
Yes.
By Anna Lemke. And Being You by Anil Seth. So that goes into that perception stuff.
Yeah, I haven't read that one.
A lot more.
Nice. I will to Amazon, but like afterwards.
Yeah.
I'm going through this series at the minute because I'm much like you guys. Everyone always asks, like, what are you reading? What are you reading? What are you reading? And so I thought if I were ever going to do book reviews, like of fictional or otherwise, I would make them suited. And I found one of my old Darren Brown books that that not a lot of people go into. It's always like Confessions of a Conjurer and this type of thing. But it was
Happy, is it? Or
it came after there was Happiness, and then there was, I think I've got it here. There it is. There was Happiness, the Stoicism stuff, and then there was that one. But this,
good one. It's a good book.
Fabulous stuff.
What does it talk about?
It's the attempt to help you, the proverbial you, so whoever it is that's reading it, rationally and realistically connect to situations that you encounter. So, like with the cake thing from before, you've got these customers that have had, arguably countless times, because for them to be disappointed in the taste, they have to have, at the very least, had it once before. At the very least, to know why this one is bad. That type of thing. And so in that moment, they indignantly, with almost a biblical connection to what they believe to be righteous, feel unjustly hurt and then forget every good experience so that they conform to the known of what their emotions want from this situation in the moment. And that's not a true representation of the context that you're in. It's like that guy Paul was working with. Oh, he didn't want to be here. It's not a true representation of the situation that he's in. Maybe he's just been a bit snarky with him, and the guy has some opinions about what young folk should be like, so he's coloured it otherwise. I'm making up stories myself. I don't know if the other guy was young or whatever.
Do you know what, Ben? It made him feel uncomfortable. It was more about his comfort than anybody else's. It was all about his comfort. We don't like it. We don't like it. They don't want to be here. And
Yeah. So whereas like the happiness and happier series was more about the kind of reflective understanding of everything will be okay. Solace, well, at least for my two pennies, was like, let's entertain for a moment that it's not. You know, what can we do there? How can we realistically connect to a situation to help you build towards happier? And it's just it's like bringing stoicism into the modern world. And again, I'll admit I'm probably biased because I've been a fan of the Stoic practices for decades. So like having Darren Brown randomly write about it, I'm like, I'm in. You know, so I'm probably a little bit biased. I won't lie to you, but that doesn't mean that the information is not worth your time. You know, it's like the first time I read The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
I heard about that one.
I mean, and his follow up as well is called Everything's Fucked, and both wonderful books.
Yeah,
and again, there's nothing preachy. He's not trying to diagnose anything. It's just a case of going, look, we're in this position. What can we do? Like, there's so many things you can take away from The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. But the question of fault and responsibility, it's huge. It was huge.
What is that?
So, like, well, I'll give you an example from my life. I was going to just reflexively ask you about your own, but that might be a bit impersonal. You can choose to tell me or not afterwards. A few relationships ago, I was cheated on. You know, and it was a fairly serious relationship. We were together for like 3 or 4 years, and you know, oh Ben, how did you miss the lies? I didn't. It just happened, but it didn't mean it was any less painful. And the notion of fault and responsibility is I could go, well, I did nothing. What did I ever do to deserve that? Who deserves being cheated on? Fault and responsibility goes, it's not your fault you got cheated on, but there are two people in the relationship. You got to take some responsibility for being a part of a situation that at least contributed to her making that decision. And people go, no, that's bloody, oh, it's this. I'm like, it's hard, yeah, but it's real. It's a real representation of reality. You know, there was a friend of a friend. I won't give any names, just in case. They never swore me to secrecy, but just in case, they were talking about what an intuitive person they are, and you know how it's always helped them navigate relationships and work. And then the question was asked about their own issues, like what they're working on. You know, I just feel that it's this. Well, have you gotten the thing that you want yet? No, then your intuition's wrong. But I'm an intuitive person. You know, I feel it. Okay, it's wrong.
It connects to what
Right.
you said about the belief.
Yeah, that's it. It might not be her fault that it's wrong, but it's her responsibility to choose whether to cling to it or not. You know. So I mean, there's a ton of other stuff in the book. If you're ever, you know, if you've ever got like a tenner to burn, then probably get some more food in the house the way the world's going. But you know, if you get to that other stage where you think books are the time, these are all great. These are all great, and this is why I'm so happy that the discussion of virtues coming up in RLS Year 3 is because the virtue of resilience we need an abundance. It's a hill I will die on for the human race. This kind of all or nothing world, and then the requisite emotional fallout is causing a lot of problems on very different levels and for very different ways for many different people. But it's because most of them, no, let me be more specific. All of the people that I've interacted with and all of the stories that I've heard from others indicate that they don't have any tools to roll with it.
Yeah.
Resilient style.
And it's bizarre, isn't it? Because the world sort of like says resilient, be resilient, be resilient. But the world's not resilient. The world doesn't make you resilient. Nothing, you know, because people just get distracted by social media and, you know, and yeah, it's bizarre. It's sort of like a just juxtaposition of like, yeah, you're talking it, but you're not walking it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was
And
it?
again, free will. Right, free will. Said, sorry, I jumped over you, mate. You've been very quiet. You jump in.
I think there was a saying like walk the talk, something like that.
Yeah.
Talk the talk and walk the walk.
Yeah. And when it comes to challenges or, you know, hard part of life, there are two quotes I always remember. The first one is from Epictetus. I think it was Epictetus. It's not what you bear, but how you bear it. And the other one is from Nietzsche. One who has a why can bear anyhow.
Yeah.
I think they are connected. Like you find your why, and we talked about it before. You find your why, and then you figure out how, and then you just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I that Nietzsche wasn't exactly on my mind when I did it, but it's analogous in that when I used to be a personal trainer, and I'm training guys with weightlifting and stuff, and all they want for their ego is a personal best. You know, it would help in their focus. So they would look at whatever it is. Let's say it was 200 kilogram, just because I can work with that in terms of the numbers. And they're doing a bench press with it. I'm just plucking stuff out of the sky. There's been a bunch of different ones. And the first question I'll always ask is, so why can't you push past that? Well, it's too heavy. Is it? Yeah. But you're not holding anything at the minute. So how do you know? Well, it's a bigger number. Okay. So is 88,000 nanograms. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's probably about 3 pounds. it's all the connection around it. So I would blindfold them, and I would take weights off. I would put ridiculous weights on, like ridiculously heavy, so it wouldn't even budge. I'd put ridiculously light on so they could throw it around, so they'd have no idea what's coming. And then I'd only put like maybe 1 or 2 kilogram, just over whatever their personal best was, 202 in this situation, and they do it easy. And they get out a couple of reps, and most of the time, depending upon the weight, obviously for safety reasons, but most of the time, I'd take their blindfold off and go, look, you know, why couldn't you do that before? You know, it's their purpose was they'd set out to fail in that situation. They're already beaten before they step up.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing for us in our roles. It's the same thing, you know, not to sound too much like a Paul McKenna book, but it's the same thing in all walks of life.
About anything.
Yeah.
It is same like with people's experiences. They say, if I go and ask for this, they're gonna react this way. And it's all just beliefs. And because they don't do it, they can't, dismiss the belief because they still think it's true because they didn't have the experience of the opposite.
Yeah.
So if it comes true, confirmation bias has completed the picture and I'm right, therefore they don't have free will. in that moment. And if it doesn't happen, something that they didn't predict, they rationalize, go away with this newfound knowledge, connect it to some kind of nervousness, probably, that still connects to next time. And then they're reminded of that situation when they get to next time. So they still don't have free will.
So if we follow your reasoning and Paul's reasoning, yeah, a bit stupidly I'm meaning that, but the only way to have free will is do what you told us in RLS, to weigh your options, to not take a decision, to always stay open to possibilities.
Yeah, yeah, and
That would
please
be free
don't get
will.
me wrong. It's a personal ideology that I work through with my specific role. Right? That's as many cards on the table as I can put. But if you're ever going to be able to make an informed decision, or as informed as you can in the moment, and you've got to know what all the possibilities are.
Yeah,
you got to know. Or you've got to at least have an awareness of them, not to go too far into the KNOT side of things.
So many bad decisions I took because I didn't have all the information I needed.
Oh, mate, we've all done it. My first marriage. Come on.
Yeah, I've been there. But do you know what? That's sort of life as well. And sometimes you've got to go there to live it and learn. You know, and we always say, don't we? To be fair, in life, there's 5 people on this call, and probably the biggest lessons that we've learned has been the things that have gone wrong.
Yeah, sure.
And made us stronger, you know. And sometimes with some of those, sometimes it's took a while to make you stronger. But now you can look back and go, yeah, you know what, that was a really shitty time. But do you know what? Without it, you won't be the person that you are now.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta take the punch in the face to learn to raise your guards.
Yeah.
If you did any bad thing.
Yeah. And you know, without going down like that, those analogies and stuff, do you know what? Every time you get knocked down, you've got a choice to get back up or just stay down, you know, and it's about getting back up. Sometimes you might not want to, and sometimes it's sort of like digging deep and getting up.
Yeah.
I always say, what don't kill you makes you stronger.
Until the accident.
As long as it doesn't kill me, as long as it's not fatal, I'm all right.
That's when you go Heath Ledger, and it becomes whatever doesn't kill you simply makes you stranger.
Yeah, yeah. And then I start stabbing people with pencils.
You want to know how I got these scars? Sorry, go on, sorry.
Dark Knight trilogy has really good scenes about it, like why do we falter with Alfred, or Bruce talks to Rachel, I think, and she says, what are you gonna do now? And he says, I'm gonna rebuild it, you know. It doesn't matter what happens, but it matters how he reacts to it.
Yeah.
I always like the know your limits, Master Wayne. I can't afford to know them, Alfred.
Yeah.
You know, limits are too limiting.
Yeah. Yeah. There's only one limit, and that's no limit.
Absolutely. I refuse to just from a mental health standpoint. I refuse to live my life acknowledging people that say that I can't, within reason, obviously, within reason. I'm not gonna. I'm not bitching and moaning because I want to steal and murder. You know, I'm already doing enough of that, which is none. Having said that, I did stand on a snail earlier, though, so that was technically a murder of some description. Depends on your frame, really. The snail was alive. Now it's not. But yeah, and yeah.
I mean, unless there's laws against killing snakes in the country.
Well, I mean, there's no escargot in Stoke-on-Trent.
God, no.
Yeah, that'd be tragic. But isn't it interesting? Like if if free will were truly free, would we have stayed on strictly on that question and instead not connected it to all of these little things that we know or have experience of or have ideas around, whatever it is?
Isn't
So
it
what
because
started as a lofty question and ended on the dark night. Go on, mate.
did um did we not connect that question to all of the things that we talked about just because the human brains like patterns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is why the free will debate comes up. You know, it's this is why I was saying, like, how free can you make a free decision unless you are aware of the pattern?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Makes sense.
because you're still making a decision with the acknowledgement of a pattern.
Yeah.
Like, do we walk on our feet? This is a ridiculous way of thinking of it, bear in mind, but do we only walk on our feet because we saw everyone else do it?
Oh, you're gonna laugh, but I saw on Instagram apparently a woman has walked on her hands for 3 years on legs and arms, I mean.
I mean, it's valid. It's valid in terms of it mirrors the analysis of the model. It might not be a valid practically, so to speak, but hey, these are the things. Like, when you shift that way of thinking, like, if someone hoarded all of the vegetables in the world that they could, they'd be in prison. And yet, when somebody hoards all of the money they can, we put them on magazines.
Or in the White House.
Or in the White House. You know, but like, and again, this isn't a judgment.
Yeah.
This is just an observation of this remark on the world. It's you know, how is
So your judgment if we interpret it right away.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Exactly.
and that probably, like, talking about that and talking about money and talking about the world, actually the way that the world is or the way that the world functions with those people up there also limits our free will.
Exactly. Exactly.
I like the example you gave before. You said that if Elon Musk or Trump does something, people say, "Oh, he's a bad person," or "Oh, he wants to destroy us." But when God does something, they say God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, I mean, yeah. Again, the how anyone could not have at least a passing fancy in profiling to hear those kinds of things and not go, why? You know, that will be.
That's because people prefer to judge directly. It's much easier.
Yeah.
It is.
Like you said, uncertainty is costly.
Metabolically costly, 100%. 100%. Maybe my why is rooted more in the lack of understanding with said comfort.
Yeah.
Because I've found a kind of irrational comfort in discomfort. You know, as much as one can anyway.
But I think Ben, the more you've done it, the more it's become the norm, and that you've exposed yourself to it. So now, it's sort of like that. Yeah, I can do it. I know it's uncertain. For the last 20 years, and you'll have done it, Ben. Dealing with violent people.
Oh God. Yeah.
I'm quite confident dealing with violent people. Yeah. I'm not 100% confident because inside my internal voice is going, "Oh shit, please do not hit me." But externally, I'm looking in control and confident, and it's about that what you project
Yeah.
rather than, right, I need to project this character now, because if I project the one that's really inside going, shit, 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 please don't hit me, not my
Yeah.
face, then that's not going to do any good. Now, did I just go into that confidence? No, not all. But the more I exposed, or I was exposed in that environment
Stress inoculation.
consistently, then I became more, I don't know, acclimatized and more level-headed. And that's what this is doing. Us questioning what we do and why we do it now is still the same. And I think that's where you're at now, Ben, is even though right at the start it was probably unnervingly uncertain. Now it's the word, it's uncertain, but I need to delve because this has worked for me before and this works, so I'm going to carry on doing this, and if it don't work, then I've got another thing to do.
I mean, that's 100%, mate. That's definitely a way of looking at it. 100% it is. It's like most things, for comfort to be achieved, you have to work through the discomfort.
Yeah.
I just maybe I'm maybe it's baggage or not. I don't really care what it is, but I'm very aware of becoming complacent. Yeah. Like I've got a clear line between work and shut off. There's no half-arsed. Like I will either do something or I'm just not doing it. There's no in between, which is why I'm bald and grey before I'm 40.
But that's a good thing to have. I mean, I'm over 50 and I still can't shut off. Sometimes sometimes I wake up at night and I've got that in my head and it's like, right, I need to shake it off, but I can't. And then it takes a bit of time. I've got to distract myself and then get back to sleep. So you're in a good place, mate. You're all right.
Well, and I mean, I still remember it. Of all of the quotes, the very first one from Sherlock that I ever went, that's me. Like my kindred spirit is right there. Was my mind rebels at stagnation. Give me problems. Give me work.
Yeah.
Give me the most abstruse cryptogram, the most intricate analysis, and I'm in my proper atmosphere.
I don't understand people that can do nothing.
Mate, I always joke, like I did it earlier. I can't retire, I always joke like that. But if I retired, I would find something else to do.
Yeah, I would. I would.
Anyway, it's all good fun. As a side note about fun, I've got tickets to go and see Scream 7 on Sunday.
Nice.
To try and put my whodunit skills to the test. But obviously we're going to the cinema, so I can't share any videos about it. But on a Tuesday, it's mine and my wife's anniversary, but the anniversary of the day we got together, not the proper anniversary. Yeah. So we're going to the theatre to watch The Hound of the Baskerville.
Nice.
And I'm really excited about it because I'm a theatre nerd. I grew up working on the theatre, performing in the theatre, so I'm a big fan of the process. And it's theatre in the round, so the whole play is if you know it, it's right the way around the stage, and it's just that's one of my favorite immersion pieces. Paul, I imagine you will have heard of it, Magical Bones.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was up at the theatre and performing in the round.
Oh, nice!
So it was a wonderful thing. It was a wonderful thing. So yeah, that's going to be pretty fun. I wouldn't, in case it wasn't obvious, gents, I was just looking to gear change from the heavy stuff, just to end on a slightly more light-hearted note. Like senseless murder on cinema, wearing funny masks and whatnot. Yeah. That was it, really. Oh, I'll tell you what, as well. We, me and Maddie watched. You all know my wife's name is Maddie, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Me and that just dawned on me that I said my wife a few times. You all know her name, Maddie. we watched His and Hers on Netflix. It's like a 6 or 7 part series with John Bernthal and Tessa Thompson. That's a good puzzle.
Was it?
That's a good puzzle. I mean, it's a great show. Great show. Lots of drama and twists and turns. But yeah, that's a good puzzle.
What is a good puzzle?
Did you say what is a good puzzle?
Yeah.
The show.
The TV show is a good puzzle?
Yeah.
What is the topic?
So the kind of cliff notes is the opening of the episode. A woman is found dead on the bonnet of her car in the middle of the woods. John Bernthal is a detective, and the whole investigation starts happening from there. I won't say anything else in case you do watch it, because I do like the puzzle and I don't want to give anything else away. I imagine that would be at the very least in a trailer.
Yeah.
You know? But yeah, to quote Detective Pikachu, it's twisty, very twisty.
Nice. And that's on Netflix, Ben?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you say
6
the
parts.
name of the show, please? Again.
On kind of what?
The name of the show. What is it?
His and Hers.
His and Hers.
His and Hers. Okay.
His and Hers. It's a 6 or 7 part TV series. 6 parts, I want to say. I didn't. Yeah, 6 parts. But yeah, really good. Really good. Very inventive.
So what are your plans for the weekend, Ben?
So I have RLS Saturday and Sunday. I have early gym weekend. It's both Saturday and Sunday as well. And then in between, because my sessions are ready, so I don't have any pre-work to do other than the technical checks beforehand, is to do my shorts. My short videos. I have to prepare further details on a business plan because I've got a meeting with the bank on Monday. But I don't know what extra details they want. Mostly because they didn't ask for extra details and they already have the plan. It's done. So I don't understand what doing another one would do.
It might be just procedure.
I mean, maybe. I mean,
because it's procedure. That's it.
Probably. Yeah. I'll have to go. Yeah. Okay. 3 bags full, sir. Here's some more paperwork. My business acumen is fine. My business terminology knowledge. Like last time we were talking about KPIs, and I know what key performance indicators are. I just never heard them referenced as KPIs before.
Yeah.
So I very much did the Scooby-Doo of the. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, page 7. There you go. And they were already in the plan. I just never heard them referenced as KPIs before.
Yeah,
that was a slow moment. But so yeah, that's me. What about you?
Quiet one, really. I've got my son and his girlfriend coming around tomorrow tea time for pancakes because I make the best pancakes apparently. Really don't want a free feed. That's what it is.
Of course.
So they're coming round Sunday. Yeah, I'll just chill really and get stuff ready, and then Monday morning travel to Leeds, meet my sister.
Nice.
Lunchtime, and be there till Tuesday night. Then I've got Wednesday off, and then back to work Thursday. So
nice. Gentlemen, yourselves, what are your plans? How are you going to start taking over the world? Brain style, not Pinky, obviously.
I have RLS on Saturday and Sunday. That's all.
It's a good plan, even if I do say so myself.
Oh yeah, I've got that on Sunday as well.
Yeah.
It's a good plan, even if I do say so myself. And
Thanks, Saeed.
oh,
it's memory work. I'd forgot.
Extra homework for Paul. Got it. Okay.
Memory work. I forgot, man.
Yeah, it's memory month, so you're gonna be good.
Yeah, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
It's the best month. It's January.
You wait till Maytember starts, you'll be fine.
Whoa.
Gents, Cyrus, Mustafa, what are you guys up to?
I think I'm going to just practice.
Nice.
Yeah, that's it. That's actually my whole life.
Hey, that's practice makes more practice. To be fair,
Coffee shops are great. Coffee shops are great, Mustafa. Go find yourself a coffee shop, sit in there for 2-3 hours, and just watch people come in.
Yeah.
I used to do that quite a lot, and just first thing I'd spot is, where's the watch? Okay, right. I'm going to assume straight off that that's the non-dominant hand, and then I'm going to watch them go. How do they hand the money in? Which side do they have the bag on? Where's the phone pocketed? I used to love doing that for hours. I think people used to think I'm a bit weird. I think people still think I'm a bit weird.
Yeah, jury's out on that one, mate.
Yeah. They haven't caught me though. There's no restraint order yet on Costas.
No, absolutely. Right, gentlemen, it's been fun. I've enjoyed the roller coaster of depth and breadth we have explored this evening. I shall bid you adieu. I'm going to go and eat my tea. See you later.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
All right, bye.